Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Direct Mortgage Loans, Veterans Affair Mortgages Home Buying Seminar. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of who I am, my name is Jaki Fanelli, and I am the Director of Branch Development for Direct Mortgage Loans. And this is a topic that's very, very near and dear to my heart. I grew up in a home with my grandfather, who was a Korean War veteran. And he dedicated his entire life to the American Legion. He was a member there for 50 years. So I grew up immersed in the world of veterans and their culture and their fun and their needs. And when I got into the mortgage business, I realized that veterans had all of these home loan buying benefits that I had never heard of. I heard many times about the medical benefits and health and aftercare, but I'd never heard about all the benefits that veterans had buying a home. And I've been in this business now for over 15 years, and it still shocks me that a lot of people don't know exactly the benefits that they have available to them through the VA. So we wanted to just take a quick half hour here this evening and kind of go over a high-level overview of benefits for veterans, what it means to them, and how they can use them to their best advantage. So just getting started here. First thing is, what are my benefits? So what are your benefits? The most important thing to you to know is that with VA loans, you're eligible for 100% financing of your home. Now, there's only 2 mortgage products on the market in general capacity that allow you for 100% financing. One is the VA, which is only eligible for veterans, and the other is a USDA loan, which is actually the property is eligible, not the person or the buyer. So an amazing benefit for you there. On top of being able to take advantage of 100% financing on your purchase, you also don't have to incur any monthly mortgage insurance. Now that is hard to get around in the mortgage world, is mortgage insurance. If you're borrowing over 80% of the property, there's ways you could pay it upfront or monthly, but trust me, you really are paying it in one way or another with any other loan product except for a VA mortgages. VA mortgages are also assumable. So what that means is, instead of putting your home on the market and going through that and paying a realtor, and that process, you can actually give your loan in a sense to someone else as long as they are eligible for the VA loan, which will save you a lot of money when it comes to selling, but also a lot of hassle. And you are limited on your closing costs. So the VA is the only agency that actually sets up rules and guidelines and regulations on what you are allowed to be charged as a veteran. So it saves you money that way too. How do you use your VA home loan benefits? So buy a home. You can buy a home, a condominium unit in a VA-approved project. You can build a home, so you can design and build your own home with your VA benefits. You can improve your home by installing energy-related features or making energy-efficient improvements. You can buy a manufactured home and/or a lot. You can refinance an existing VA guaranteed or a direct forward loan for the purpose of a lower interest rate or payment. You can also refinance an existing mortgage loan or other indebtedness secured by a lien on record of a residence owned and occupied by the veteran as a home. So basically what that means is that you can refinance any loan and take out a VA loan to replace that, probably saving yourself not only on the rate, but most likely, again, on that mortgage insurance. So a couple myths about VA home loans. The first one that we hear most commonly is that you can only have one VA loan, and that's actually not true. The truth to that is that you can only purchase a home for a primary residence using a VA loan. So what does that mean? That means you can buy a home or a condo, and then when you outgrow that home, maybe you want to start a family or you're moving, you can keep that first home with your VA loan on it, rent that out or use it as a second home, and then you can take out a new VA loan on your primary residence that you are going to be moving into. You can definitely have more than one VA loan at a time. VA rates are higher. This is just false. VA loans are backed by the government, just like FHA, so you are going to get the lowest rates that are available on the market with a VA loan. All lenders can offer a VA loan. That is also false. Lenders have to be approved directly by the VA to offer VA loans. And then one step further, you can have in-house VA underwriting, which means when your loan gets underwritten by your lender, the underwriter is actually in their property underwriting for the VA, they're in-house, which is really going to be the best turn times for you and your transaction. So, are you eligible? There's many ways that you can be eligible to receive VA benefits. The first one is you have completed at least 90 days active during wartime, or at least 101 days continuous active duty during peacetime. If you have completed a total of 6 creditable years in the Select Reserve or National Guard, you're a member of an active unit, attended required weekend drills, and 2-week active duty for training, you are also eligible to purchase a home using VA benefits. Surviving spouses. If you're an unremarried spouse of a veteran who died while in service from a service-connected disability, you have access to their VA home buying benefits. If you're a surviving spouse who remarries on or after the age of 57 and or after December 16th of 2003, you are eligible. If you're a surviving spouse of a service member missing in action or a prisoner of war, or if you get DIC benefits, which is dependency and indemnity compensation from the VA, even in cases where the veteran's death was not service related, you are still eligible and entitled to their benefits. This is interesting. I didn't know about 2 of these, actually. I learned putting this presentation together for you. So there's other ways that you can be eligible to get a VA loan. So certain US citizens who served in the armed forces of a government allied with the United States during World War II, if you know any of them, they are still eligible for benefits. And then this is interesting. Individuals with service as members in certain organizations, such as public health service officers, cadets in the United States Military, Air Force, or Coast Guard Academy, midshipmen at the United States Naval Academy, officers of National Oceanic and Atmosphere Administration, merchant seamen with World War II service, and others, which is interesting. There's a lot of organizations there I didn't realize fell under that bucket. So if you know from our last slide that you're eligible and you're wondering how do you find out exactly what you're eligible for, or how do you get your certificate of eligibility, which is really the basis of starting this process, is you request it. There's many ways that you can request your certificate of eligibility, and there's some examples of that further on in the presentation for you. Everyone starts with the same initial amount of benefits. Direct mortgage loans can pull this for you online at no cost. Just contact me. And we can get you in touch with our staff here to pull that for you. The VA loan certificate of eligibility can be very confusing. Having somebody that really understands it and understands your benefits walk you through it can really help you identify your entitlement and what you'll be able to purchase. Usually your COE is immediately available. And if not, we can request that one be sent directly to you, and then you can call us when you get it in. When you get that certificate of eligibility, this is what it's going to look like. And what's important for you to know is, first and foremost, where it says funding fee on the right-hand side. The funding fee lets you know, or us as the lender know, how much of a funding fee that you're going to have to pay. If yours says exempt, that means you pay 0. If you are over 10% disabled through the VA, you are considered exempt for the funding fee for VA mortgages. A lot of veterans that have a disability rating are over 10%. So most of you are going to be able to claim exemption status on your funding fee. Your basic entitlement is always going to start at $36,000. You can see it's highlighted there. If your COE looks like this, that means you have all of your entitlement to use. If you had a previous VA loan or an active loan currently, you're going to see it listed under the prior loan section. In this example, there is not one listed, but if you had a previous VA loan, it would say the loan amount, the date you took it, but it would also let us as the lender know how much entitlement that you used with that transaction. You may not have used all $36,000 in the transaction. Important things that you want to know. Even if you've used all of your $36,000 in entitlement on previous VA loans, it will be restored once you sell that home or those homes. However, you still have the option to buy another home using additional entitlement that is available after the $36,000 that you originally get is exhausted. The amount is going to vary slightly depending on your area. It has a lot to do based with the VA's base county loan limit in your county, but just slightly from area to area. Find a professional that understands your benefits, your life, and your needs to help you go over this so that you know that you are putting in a contract on a home that you can get with your eligibility and entitlement. You can also use your benefits while you're serving active duty, and you can use power of attorneys to sign for you at closing. So if you're serving overseas, But your wife wants to buy a house here while you're there, you can definitely get that done while you're on active duty. 8 easy steps to purchasing a home with a VA loan. First step, find a VA mortgage lending expert. If you don't know what that looks like, she's about 5'4", has brown hair and a really big smile. But no, for real, Direct Mortgage Loans is a VA mortgage lending expert. We take veterans benefits very seriously here. We are actually probably the only mortgage company that I know that holds the keys to the VA system to your certificate of eligibility to one single person that's highly trained, that knows exactly how to navigate that system. For you vets out there on the call, you know the VA systems are a little archaic, and some wrong button clicks can really waste some of your entitlement or kind of mess you up. So you really want to make sure that you're dealing with a lender that understands they don't have to just restore your entitlement, that you can use more than $36,000. And a lot of lenders don't know that. They'll just restore it for you, and that's bad for you in a lot of ways. So just make sure you're with somebody who knows what they're doing. So 2, once you're with somebody that you are sure knows what they're doing, you want to go ahead and review your eligibility with your lender. You want to talk about how much eligibility you have, what that means, and what you can purchase in your area. And then again, what's going to be comfortable for you, what you're actually looking for as far as a monthly payment goes. Get pre-approved for a VA home loan with Direct Mortgage Loans. Any day, we're here. Find a trusted realtor. When you're buying a home, find a realtor. They are your friends. They're going to steer you away or into better areas for your personal needs. They may know something about the development that you're moving into that's going to be important to you, or that you should have known before moving in. So always deal with a realtor if you're buying a home. Go find your dream home. So you have your pre-approval letter, you have your realtor, you're in trusted hands. Go out, shop for your dream home. Once you find that dream home, your realtor is going to help you sign a contract. And then you're going to bring that, well, they'll get that contract back to us at Direct Mortgage Loans. And then you're going to just work with us throughout the process to close your loan. We'll guide you through the entire process step by step. Veterans Affairs loans are very, very easy loans to close. And then you get to move in and put your American flag on the front step and celebrate your new home using your VA benefits that you very much deserve to use. So we did want to take a minute just to throw out there some refinancing options. Some of you may know veterans who already do have homes that don't know that they have these benefits. So we just wanted to put this slide in so you could share it with your comrades. So to refinance your home, you can take out cash out of your home equity to do whatever you'd like with, pay off debt, put improvements into the home, send kids to school, buy a Harley, whatever you'd like to do. Don't tell your wife, no, I'm kidding. Pay off debt. You can pay off debt, college tuition, home improvements, like I said. There's some really neat options for VA refinancing when it comes to energy efficient improvements. If you're in a home and you need, a new heater, new windows, definitely want to give us a call, look into that. There's some really great options there for you. And then if you already do have a VA home loan, rates are down. We do have interest rate reduction loans available, which is really a streamline of a VA loan. This is a really great loan if you can streamline it. There's no appraisal required. You've already used the eligibility, so there's no question there on the eligibility. Very limited documentation requirements. It can be done with no money out of pocket. You can get out of a fixed rate loan. You can get out of an adjustable rate loan and get into a fixed rate loan. Veterans are strongly urged to constantly contact qualified lenders to be making sure that you do have the lowest mortgage payment that you can possibly have right now. On a streamline, though, you will not be able to receive any cash out from the proceeds. And this is the great part about this. You don't have to occupy the property. So if you are somebody that has an investment loan out there, a VA loan on a rental property from 4 or 5 years ago, please do look into where interest rates are now, because you could streamline that investment property and really put some more of that rental income back into the principal of that mortgage on your own or in your pocket. But either way, you could reduce that on an investment or a second home that you have. So we do have some funding fee tables here so that you understand what you'd be obligated to pay. This is a slide that speaks of construction and purchase loans. What's really great about this, which not many veterans know, is you have a pretty subsequent use funding fee, that big 3.3 up there in the corner. That means if you've used your VA benefits before and you are not exempt, you are going to pay 3.3% of your loan amount and a funding fee. Now, it gets financed in your loan, so it's not out of your pocket. But what's really, really interesting is that if you put down 5 or 10% or more, you can really chop that funding fee significantly, which not a lot of people realize. Because you can do 100% financing, most people choose to do that. But if you have extra money in the bank and you want to put down a couple $1,000s, you may be able to save yourself the same in that funding fee. National Reserves Guard, similar, you guys pay a little bit more. If you're going to do a cash out refinance, it's very similar, but obviously there's no options on putting money down to save. And then interest rate reduction, you can see that those are significantly smaller than the upfront fee. And again, if you are 10% or more with a disability rating through the VA, you don't pay any of those fees. So those slides are irrelevant to you. So we put this resource table in here because this will be available after the call, so that you can go to the National Archives if you want and actually request your DD-214. I had a client do this yesterday for us. It's quick, it's painless, it's free. They will send the DD-214 directly to you and your entire unedited member 4 copy. Actually, there's a lot of great records in there for you and your family besides the DD-214. And again, it's free. If you are familiar with your e-benefits portal, you will be able to get your certificate of eligibility in there. I logged in with a buddy last week and his was there. It's kind of over on the side. It's under the home loan benefits area. But if you click in there, you'll see a little link that'll say certificate of eligibility. His was just sitting in there waiting for him to pull it. So yours very well could be in there for you as well. So if you are a reservist or a National Guardsman, you're going to have to pay a little bit more attention to this slide and kind of see where you fit. But there are phone numbers, websites for you to be able to get in touch with your group and try to get a hold of your NGB 22 is what it's called if you're a reservist or a National Guardsman, NGB 22. All right, we have left this time open for questions, and we knew we wouldn't take the whole hour here. If you are at a branch and you would like to use the Q&A through the chat, you can go ahead. We have you all muted, but we are monitoring the Q&A so that you can type that up. But if it's easier for you as well, as any of you branch managers out there, Kristen Smith is here with her email, so you can always internally email Kristen Smith as well if you have any questions, and we can answer them for you here.